Oh boy, here comes the music. Let's see. Let me get some charts up. I think everything is all better on my recording side. So hopefully, and you guys should be able to see my charts now. All right. All right, a little bit of a battle today. Kind of, let's see, we discussed a little bit this morning. I know Ginger said too, and I was trying to point out some of these other numbers here, but VIX elevated. Finally took out the daily 9 in pre 10 o'clock, right? So this is where we were bouncing on the call. Pushed on up. The 4 hour 9 was a slight rejection, pushed us into the 10 o'clock candle here. So this is from 10 a.m. until now. So a couple of hours in this push, and we continue to rise here. 4 hour 200 held on the VIX, but I just want you to be clear on something here, which is here's our high from last Thursday at 2015. And we are still approaching this. So we have some room to go. We want to stay below 20. Sorry, that high was below 20. Right on the border there. We want to stay below 20 still, and all this will recover. We will still see some fear though here. ES right about to hit the trouble spot and lose last week's low, and we have to basically hold 74.11 here in order to get us into a positive session for the week. But this is going to be chaos this week, and we have too much going on geopolitically and economically um, with Warsh and the rate cut decision and all of that. So we're going to see a little bit of a mess here. SPY down in the low end of the lows here. Again, I'd like to see it hold the 735.21 low from last week. So that's going to be the break point here. Below that, obviously, we've got a ton of room in here. So we really want to kind of spring back up and go. I prefer to see us uh, take back the close on Friday, but I don't think that that's going to happen in this session. We are down
Yeah,
about.
no,
You can't hear me.
your microphone's real choppy.
Yeah, sorry. You know what? It's there's something wrong with my internet. I'm gonna run straight through this and get it posted for you guys. I think that's the only way it's gonna work. Otherwise, you guys are just not gonna hear me at all, or get the data. I apologize though. I don't see how else I'm gonna fix this. So I'm running into internet problems. I'll reboot my whole system and everything after this, so that hopefully that'll be resolved. But I don't know what happened this morning, and now I'm having ridiculous internet problems. The recording will be solid though. So let me finish this. I'll run through it all here, and then grab the recording. I guess it's gonna be the best way. At least you'll be able to hear it clearly. Um, so all right. So that's it for SPY. Let's jump on over to the war chart. You can see where we are on the descent here. We have pretty clear trend line that we're following here. Sorry, I forgot that I have to hold it now. There, and you can see on the top side here too. So aiming down for the day, not the end of the world, but obviously, this whole loop down here and bringing everything down on the overnight session because of the war. Even though we had pullbacks from geopolitically, everything seemed to be stalling out. We still continue to pull that down. This is leftover from last week too, and anticipation of earnings releases from all those other companies. Those earnings releases will probably put us in a position where we will start to see capex expenditures causing difficulty across the board. AI return on investment isn't going to be immediate, and that's going to be the problem for the street. So the street is seeing that, has seen that, and now they're looking at this to be some sort of a response in that going forward. The big players that are reporting this week are going to kind of bolster that and give us where we are. Here's the cues. I want to show you on a daily chart where we are. We filled in the gap here. We are now looking at potentially hitting this next gap here, right in here. So if that happens, then we've got a little bit ways to go. We then have major support, I would say, right at this line here in that 654. But guess what that is? Anyway, you can see it right, real clearly right there, monthly nine. So this is a ton of distance away, but that is a viable solution to where we are right now. And if you are looking at excuse me, if you're looking at the chart, you can clearly see that this structure here has faded, right? So we fade that structure. The bounce point could be here. We could hold here on this gap or this gap right here. But if not here, if we get below 674, then we are going to find that monthly nine, and we'll find it really quickly too. So hopefully that's painless and we get down and get it done. NVIDIA, I'd mentioned we were opening above the line. We ended up opening just underneath that line there. Push this forward here a little bit. That's our trend line. Losing that trend line dropped us on down through the floor. I mean, brutal here. We rejected 200, which is an important structure line here. We rejected 200 a couple of times here on the bounce to try, and that rejection has pushed us down. Location wise, we are looking to get to the excuse me, to get NVIDIA very possibly. I think we get find support here at 370 this week. So it's going to be in this range here to begin with. We are not going to stop right here. This is the halfway point, so technically could, but I don't think so. I think tomorrow's going to be another chaotic day for us, and we'll need to push on down through this. Monthly nine is also possible too, so beware that that can give us some grief here as we kind of come down with this. But 4 out 370, I think should hold us pretty well here. Coming back over to Soxel, question was, are we getting to the monthly nine from earlier? Criteria for that was losing trend and then losing last week's low. We've lost last week's low, so we are likely going to the monthly nine. So I do expect to see us hit this number here at a roughly 111 ish right there. I'm going to drop the exit right below that now that I've pushed it out of the way, but that's really where we want to be. I do also expect this to hold though, relatively. I don't care about any slippage, but look at this on the big chart. So you can see monthly nine right here. So if that's where we head to, no problem, bounce there. But look at what's below this here. This is also that same support was showing on the Qs right here. So we got that support line here, and then below it we have not a ton of things. I mean, there's a gap here. Okay, and that's a relevant gap from the April push. This is the May 30th, April 1st push, May 31st, April 1st push, and right in here. But I don't think it's relevant to where we are. We have too much support here, and the AI piece isn't going away. So I don't think we see an oversold situation that gets us down that low. I do believe that this is going to be our floor. So from this point forward here, then we should see us grab into a trajectory and push ourselves on up through there. And we will see that relatively quickly. So Tuesday, Wednesday, 2 o'clock on Wednesday Eastern Standard Time is when the rate decision will be made. That will probably give us a little bit of chaos, and then Thursday we'll start to see everything pick back up again. MU's done a better job of this altogether. So having held the low here, so we haven't lost that low yet on MU. We do have continuation of this break of structure here and causing us to continue to fall line down. This also though needs a stop point here. Let's drop our exit on here. If I look below here, I can see that the only thing down here is really nothing. We got the 4-hour 200 down here. Monthly nine is all the way down here. I don't see us getting to that low on this individual name, but possibilities are to get us down to the weekly 20, worst case scenario, I think. So this is a potential target for this week as we go, but I do think that we will hold this line here, and then bounce up from there. Let's see if I can draw a real arrow. From there. So that that's the target reaction that I'm looking for, is holding up right over in this area here. CRDO, well, game over. So CRDO is an exit played only right now. We are also this got clobbered on Friday, and then another clobbering today. Monthly nines all the way down to 170 here. I don't see anything viable in terms of a purchase here right now. So this is just going to be a no go, upside down smiley face, and that's it. So we're just going to stay away from this until we get a clear bottom. This to me at 200 was kind of the line in the sand. We broke it here. We did recover slightly. So if we see anything below that 200, again, that's going to continue out. If we can pop up above 200 and keep going, that could give us a chance to recover here. But I think this is really at this point going to depend on Nvidia and Soxel. And look at the way the chips go. This is going to be the last resort for any of this here right now. CoreWeave doing what we suspected it would do. It's definitely on a downward trajectory here. Want to see that continue on. If it could hold last week's low, that would be great. I don't think it will. I think we'll actually see a little bit deeper discount in here. AMD, um, here was the short, right? So uh, we had um, we had Friday push us on down to the D9. The problem is the D9 held, opened up below with the 4-hour 20, giving us push down. That 4-hour 20 push down just clobbered through the weekly 9 and the daily 9. Look at this right here. No interjection at all. It just clobbered them. We had a pullback up to the uh, we had a pullback up here in the morning. It was not even at that level. So just trying to retake these levels here. So that was a loss. Back test by the end of the week, more than likely, we're going to see all the stuff turn around. Tesla, Tesla got its goose cooked last week. I think we kind of settle out on the bottom here. My target, of course, is that 292 range. So right here. So that's my target there is 292. And we will hopefully see that rather quickly here and then continue on. So I'm going to bring my exit on down here. So we've got that here, 292 right there. If we can retake yesterday's Friday's high up here too, that could change this for Tesla. Tesla will run at different speed than everybody else because of the fact that earnings are done and all of that. So we are already in that kind of loophole there. SpaceX still holding the short. Target is the 80s. This can continue to go on down in that direction there. Love how it makes things round. And so that's kind of our target down here. I'm going to reassess this at the 100 level here, right there, and then continue our journey down towards the 80s, I think. So looking at the 80s, this drawing thing's going to take me a minute, isn't it? Bring back the 80s. Okay, that sort of worked. Anyway, we'll get there. So short is still good. This will take some time though. Probably going to be another month or two before we get there. But bought the short position there. It's not a big deal. Apple, Ginger told you taking profit on the short here, and then we have the continuation. It's consolidating right here right now. Apple hasn't decided to participate or not yet, so we're going to see whether Apple gets down below the overnight, which is down here in the 333 range, or if we're going to stay and hold. Some important pieces on the pointers here, if you are playing Apple, to look out for. But because it's going to be a tough week, I expect some volatility to come into play tomorrow or Wednesday for Apple, specifically related to that, unless there's something else geopolitically that happens ahead of time. Right. So Google, Google popping back up here, trying to push. We haven't touched the 4-hour 9 yet, though, so we still have the 4-hour 9 to contend with. This could give us some static right here. So we need to be careful as we rejected once already. New candle just formulated here, so I would expect us to try and attempt that again. And if it rejects, we could probably see Friday lows again down here potentially. At that point in time, Google should be done with its punishment, and we'll see that start to recover and bounce through the 4-hour 9 and take the monthly 9 probably by the end of the week would be my target. Um, let's see here. What else we got? I think that's all that's relevant. Let me just pop back over to SPY on the new candle right here. So we have our new candle, sorry, right here. Looking to try to hold here at the bottom levels. I don't think we're going to potentially, this looks a little bit weak, so we should see We should see SPY kind of give us a little continuation down here and probably stop at support here for the day, when we will then continue for tomorrow to look and see if we can get some structural support below it. So 729 right here, structural support. Let's see if we can hold this area and bounce back up. Do look at what we have up here. Look at this SMA, just complete structure right here of all these SMAs. It's brutal. It is absolutely brutal. And down, 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 down. They're all angled down except for the daily 20. But to get to the daily 20, you got to go through all of these other uh, moving averages, which are really pinned down now. Not huge degrees on them, but we do have, the weekly 9 is punishing, and obviously the 4-hour 9 is only increasing in speed the further away we get from it in trajectory. So need to watch out for that on the recovery. This will not be a swift recovery unless we get Fed rate decision news that is highly unanticipated, meaning we get a rate cut, which is not what we're expecting at all. We're expecting to still see a rate increase in October. That rate increase in October is about, I don't know, 60% ratified on the poly markets, but we will see what happens there. So Wednesday we'll fix this one way or the other. We'll get it set. If Wednesday's news is bad and we continue to push down, the rate goes down, geopolitical falls apart, everything else. Okay, and let's say we get all of that crap happens together, then we will see the monthly 9. And if we do see the monthly 9, we will actually hold that monthly 9, and then we will bounce higher. So then we'll be able to follow trajectory back on up. But getting to the monthly 9 would mean that we have some real bad stuff happening here in terms of news wise. I always hold a put across markets for the just in case. And I actually cashed out of mine today. I was hoping to put them back in on the bounce. We didn't get the bounce that we wanted, and you can see why. All this consolidation here, the push up, the rejection back down, geopolitical's not fixed, and fear is still up and elevated. On the minutely chart, we looks like we are trying to set a bottom. It's the perfect shape and configuration. And yes, we could always spring out of this, but the week isn't over. And I think the worst of our news and pieces that we have to deal with are still coming. So that's where we are on that. I think we've covered everything. The only thing I didn't show you guys with Bitcoin, which has maintained itself above that 63,800 depth, top of that channel there. And over the weekend, so a little bit falling, but we've taken back all that. So Bitcoin's performing quite well in antithesis to the market. And I hope Bitcoin strays from the market and starts to perform in its own direction. It's not there yet, but this is going to take months, if not years. But at the same time, as it starts to show an indifference to certain things that happen in the market and positive stuff in terms of its own relative value, that will be good for everything. So I'd like to see that continue on there. Back to the war chart, you can see us trying to spring up here. Every bounce has been rejected, guys, every single one. So we aren't moving or going anywhere. All right, I know you guys can't hear me, but I'm going to ask anyway. If anybody has any questions or wants me to go over anything, I will do it and help you guys out. Otherwise, I'll get this recording on over to WAP and get you guys all fed up with today's material. So I'm going to give a 5 count, see where we're at, see if you guys can hear me. And I'm guessing it's a no. So I am going to take us on out and shut this down and get it over to you guys on WAP.